Hey guys, Evander here, back with another video. Today I'm going to be reviewing and installing EVBase's Ambient RGB light strip for your Cybertruck. This baby mounts right here under the lip of your dashboard, just adheres on, and it is powered by the USB port in the glove box. So it's pretty non-destructive. You don't have to tap into wire harnesses like some other lighting products I've reviewed on my channel. So it should be pretty straightforward. Again, just adhere this strip right under the lip here. It's cool. You can control it with an app, so you can, of course, customize the color. It also has the ability to kind of move and dance with the sound of music. So excited to see how this looks, especially during the nighttime. The instructions seem to be meant for other models of Teslas. So I haven't seen any other Cybertruck kind of install process, but we'll be figuring this out together. It seems pretty, again, straightforward. But yeah, if you're interested, link in the description below. And as always, RedKnave20 is going to save you 20% off this or anything else on EVBase's website. Be sure to take advantage of that. And yeah, let's get this kind of fully unboxed, understand what goes where, and then we'll get this installed in no time. All right, from what we've got here, we've got the LED strip itself, a controller. There's a little power button on this one. Also included, it looks like a USB kind of hub. So we've got 3 ports. Oh, and it has USB-C at the bottom, which is nice. So this, I assume, plugs into the existing glove box port. This looks to be some sort of receiver. I assume this is what makes it capable of being controlled wirelessly from your phone. So that looks like a receiver to me. I assume this will sit in the glove box, and it's got a little mounting strip of adhesive on that. And then we have an adhesive strip. A little disappointed the LED strip did not come with this pre-installed, but again, it seems like they're repurposing the same materials to work with multiple models of Teslas. Got a little pry bar and the instructions. Again, when I looked up this QR code, it was for a different kind of Tesla, not a Cybertruck. But again, it looks pretty straightforward. You just tape the thing on. It says be very careful of the welding joint. So when I'm holding this, I have to be careful not to pull too tight on some of these areas. So yeah, let's first clean up the area of my dashboard with some 70% isopropyl. That way there's no dust and debris underneath there. And then we'll figure out where all these wires plug into. I have temporarily moved my little C9 CarPlay screen out of the way, since I need to get underneath there in a second. Take a little dab of some 70% isopropyl alcohol, and as always, just give it nice and clean. And now it's ready for the adhesive. But before we do that, all right, I'm gonna open my glove box and we're gonna start moving some things around. Typically the blue of a USB hub is the fastest, and you want your Sentry footage to be saved very nice and quickly. So make sure this one is plugged in to the blue, is my assumption. What else we got here? This obviously plugs into this light strip. There is a right and wrong way to plug this in. There's a little 2 arrows on each side. Just make sure they match up. Push it in nice and tight. And then this is where I'm not sure. My intuition makes me think that the LED strip will go into this sort of expansion. And then that now has the receiver. Just got a web of cables here. And then this probably can plug into any of these USB-A ports. And then I'm going to plug this where my Sentry mode previously was, as I can see. I think it's upside down. I like this rotates. That was a nice little cherry on top. Okay. And I think I see it lighting up. Swear I just saw it. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it's slowly, that's cool. Slowly filling up with colors. So yeah, that was the way to connect them. LED strip connects to the piece that has the power button on it, which connects to the receiver, which connects to the hub. So now that we know we have the order of operations figured out, I think I can start to put the adhesive strip on to the LED light strip itself. So I'm going to unplug this, and we'll tuck this in here for now. Oops. All right, I am applying this red adhesive, it's double-sided tape, to the LED light strip, but you do have a way to screw this up, so pay attention. The cable needs to go out the passenger side of the dashboard, and this LED light strip has a black and a little white strip. That's where the LED itself is. This white part needs to be facing you. So that means the adhesive strip goes on top. If you were to put this on the bottom, when you go to stick it on, it's going to be facing into your truck, which you're not going to be able to see. So make sure, basically, the adhesive strip should be on top, the white part of the LED facing you. That way, when you stick it on, it's adhering from underneath. I'm just gonna apply this slowly down the LED light strip. It's pretty sticky stuff, but it is forgiving. And I assume there's too much of this, and I will just need to snip off any excess. So again, very simple so far. Difficulty level 2 out of 10. Very easy. But yeah, see you in a sec once I've got all this adhesive strip on. I have put the adhesive strip all along the LED light strip. I was left with some excess adhesive strip, so I don't think you have enough if for some reason you goofed up the first time and ruined the whole piece, but you do have excess. Just snipped that off. I did start to peel the little red bit off, and I'm going to start adhering it from the driver's side. All right, I was starting to apply this, but I was initially thinking I don't want to see the light strip itself, but I just plugged it in to test it out again, and I do want to barely see the white part of the LED strip. So I'm going to back it off while I can, and I just want to see that white part of the strip peek out underneath that dashboard. So it's going to sit just underneath that lip, and feels like that's the best way to go about this. And then I'll slowly peel this back, I don't know, 6 or so inches at a time, and just work my way down the dashboard. Very easy. What I'm really curious about is where the heck am I gonna hide all of the little cables themselves? I assume they hang out just in my glove box. So that is one con, I suppose, is all this stuff has to go somewhere. But maybe I can hide it somewhere else that's not going to take up precious glove box space, because it's already pretty small in my opinion, or at least it's shallow, and I don't really fit much in my glove box. All right, we're at the end here, and yeah, that is pretty much perfectly cut to size for us, so that's nice. Give that a nice amount of pressure. It might be helping them doing this like with the sun coming down through the windshield. That adhesive really bonds quite well. So now we've got our cable management we need to handle here. So ultimately, all of this stuff has to go somewhere. This definitely looks like it stays in the glove box. That's pretty fat. I might tuck it behind here. Let's see. So first off, I need to get this mounted around. I've got my carbon fiber dashboard. Luckily, I never adhered this thing, so it pops off pretty easy. I'm gonna set this aside. Also could find that from EVBase. Let me get you a better angle. All right, so this is the next step. I need to hide all this stuff somewhere. But first we gotta tuck this wire into the trim here to make it a little less noticeable. My carbon fiber dashboard actually might... Let me put this back on, because that does take up some space. All right, so with that on, yeah, I can still tuck it. They made note to be careful of this part of the strip, so I don't want to apply, too much pressure to it and snap something. I think I can get away with tucking this. Let's see. Yep. So if I just pull this down, just tucked it right in that little crevice. Perfect. Again, being mindful not to pull too much on this part of the wire. Good. And on this side, tuck that in. Now this part, I think I'm going to take this off. I am actually familiar enough with this area, and I've taken it off so many times for the other products. And I'm pretty sure I still have some room under here. So this pops off pretty easy. Whoop, I'll go grab that clip later. Yeah, I think I'm gonna tuck it in there. So pull this through. Oh, they have a little tie that it came with. Here it is. So what I think I'm gonna do is, I might be able to tuck this in there as well. Yeah. So I'm gonna come in. So all this stuff is just gonna go into the glove box just like that. And everything else, I'm gonna tuck it inside of that little area. So I'm actually plug in the light. Lining up these arrows. And then we'll do a little bit of wire management here. Hopefully this wraps all the way around these guys. Oh, it's not quite big enough. Wait. I got it. Okay. Let's see if I can hide this in here. Just tuck this cable in. I think that might be fine just to sit in there like that. Yep. As long as it's out of the way of that clip, I think I should be good. And then that still has access to the glove box. All right, took a little moving some stuff out of the way, but I did get that all snapped back in. Get my clip that fell out. There we go. And then pop this baby back on. All right, everything has been tucked behind this here trim. Popped it all back into place. And then our wiring job looks really nice. You can barely see this little cable. Tucked it into the, barely see that little cable. I tucked that behind the trim there. Now we've got, get down lower. You can see our little receiver cable has access to the glove box, and make sure the glove box can close. Yep. And open. Still opens. So that should work out. I might mount this little receiver on the bottom, on the top side of the glove box, out of the way. And there we go. It actually looks OEM. That's great. I don't have my Cybertruck light strip on, but you can see right there, there's the glowing ambient light. I need to set up the app real quick and see what that looks like. Okay, figured it out. Pro tip, the app it recommended in the QR code here didn't seem to work. What did work for me was scanning this QR code. That one worked. Whatever app this is, that was the one to use. It connected immediately. I didn't need to pair anything. But yeah, I tucked this in, so I had to untuck it to get to it. But the app it used was perfect. I was able to set it to this nice RGB rainbow effect. So now I don't need to be an autopilot to have my rainbow road. I can have it whenever I want. Well, I think I'm going to show you a bit more of the app and all of the different modes when it's a bit darker, because that's when you're really going to notice the different effects here. And of course, we'll compare the Tesla light, which it looks very dim compared to this new third-party light from EVBase. So awesome. I just realized that my LED strip seems to have broken where my C9 screen touches it. I don't know if it cracked or broke the connection right there, but it's not working anymore on the left side after my screen. All right, shout out to EVBase. They helped me find a setting in one of the apps that can control the lights, and I basically just had to adjust the pixels to use all of them. I don't know why this happened, but they were able to fix my light strip that I thought was broken from being pinched by my C9 screen. Turns out it wasn't broken. I just had to adjust a little setting in the app, and now it's working again. So very happy they found a workaround for that. Regardless, I routed the light strip a little bit further back, as back as I could, so the C9 screen isn't pinching it as much, hopefully. But yeah, we are back in business. All right, it is nighttime, and I want to show you what the app looks like. So this is the Magic Lotus X app. Actually, the device itself recommended a slightly different app. I noticed the logos were the same, but I ended up actually just using the app that was recommended on EVBase's website, and it looks a lot better than the other one. So go with the Magic Lotus X app, and it's a lot cleaner, but both of them work if you were to use the other one. But here's what it looks like. So if I choose red, green, pretty instant to cycle through. Down here, it reacts to the microphone of the device itself. There's different modes, so this would be really cool if you're at an event and you park, turn on the music, it will move with the music. Down here, we've got all sorts of different cycling. It gives you a little preview what it looks like. Yeah, there's so many different kinds of animations. It's just absurd. So many choices. Up to you what you want to do. Looks like you can do custom colors if you want to choose. Oh my gosh, so many choices. They just keep going. Like it's absurd. Chances are, I assume most of you are going to use just like one or two of these. But yeah, I could probably have a whole 40 minutes just going through all of these different choices. But you've got options, I'll just tell you that. I'm a simple guy, so I think I'm going to either stick with the rainbow for now. You can adjust the speed down here. So if you want it to cycle through slower or faster, you can do so. This app is very comprehensive and looks like you can even adjust the brightness if it's a little too bright. Alrighty, I think it's about time to wrap up my review. I've been using this for about a week now, making sure there's no issues. And aside from me temporarily having the LEDs go out over here, no issues at all. No delamination issues with the adhesive they use. We've had some hot days and the summer sun approaching. And yeah, nothing's peeled off. If it did, I do have that excess bit of double-sided tape. So I could repair it if for some reason it did come unstuck. But yeah, there are like literally hundreds of choices of colors. So many, I think I'm just going to stick with the rainbow. I can't decide on a pattern or color choice. I think the Rainbow Road looks great, especially with the carbon fiber dashboard. Also from EVBase, if you're interested. And that really just kind of amplifies the colors, I feel like, just reflecting off that surface, at least for the glossy. As for tucking the cables on the passenger side, you do not have to put them in the trim like I did. You can just keep them in the glove box, zip tie them up, maybe keep them organized that way. I just have so much stuff in my glove box. I didn't really feel like I could spare the room. So I'm, again, familiar enough with that trim that I tucked it in there. I know it's nice and safe in there and it's not going to harm anything. I did forget to mention, if you do walk away from a Cybertruck, it will turn off automatically. It just takes a few minutes. So don't be afraid. If you do buy this and you walk away and you notice it's still on when you leave, it does shut off by itself. It just takes a few minutes. And when you do get back in, it's really cool. The passenger side, it will start to illuminate like a loading bar across the passenger side to the driver's side, and then it turns on fully. So it's kind of a nice little kind of opening loading animation you get to see. Overall, I think this is a really great accessory to have. It's sub $100, especially with my discount, RedNave20. Make sure that's applied. Use my affiliate link that will apply it for you. But this is a very easy modification that's less than $100 that I think adds like some good personality to your Cybertruck. Could make it represent you, or maybe your sports team, whatever colors you like, your high school, your college. I don't know, but literally so many choices. I thought about going through each pattern, and then I realized just how many there were, and there's just too many. Basically, if you can think of the color combination, it probably exists. If it doesn't, you can make your own combination in the app. Speaking of the app, I'm using Magic Lotus X. There's also the other app that you can download from the QR code. Don't use the one that's from the instructions. That one links to a weird LED lamp app. It didn't work very well. I had to scan the QR code on the power cable. That led me to an app that really worked, and that was the same app I used to fix the little pixel problem of not showing the light strip fully over here. Hopefully none of you have that issue. If you do, just leave a comment below and I'll tell you how to fix it. Alrighty, that wraps up this one. I guess I'll see you guys in the next video. Be sure to like, share, subscribe. You know the drill. And I will see you soon. Take care.